Good morning from the Yarn Closet in Southern Arizona. I'm Laura. Yep, still in love with the hair. I love me a bob. This is about the longest that I actually like it. So if I can hold out and go right before school starts in July, mid-July, then I'm gonna go shorter. So there's definite distance, like more distance here. So that I can just go longer between cuts. Now, that means I probably won't be able to do the ponytail right away with the bob, but it'll grow into a time when I can. But we'll see. We'll see. Who knows? Or it may be so stinking hot that I don't want to go that short because I want to be able to do the ponytail. So we'll just have to decide then. But I think I'll be able to make it. Because this is not everything I want it to be, but it is so much closer. And now I don't even care that the front is a little bit off from the back. And I'm good. I'm happy about that. Yes, I was a little chatty last time, but people, you helped me get through this. I don't know that I could have done that. I don't know that I could have done that without support. What have I done this week? Oh my gosh. It's definitely hotter, and I don't like that. I'm continuing to give my daughter a present every week, but then now all of a sudden there's all this other stuff she wants. The Minecraft movie online, and paddle balls that she's loved since she was little, and so I'm feeling a little frustrated because I'm feeling like things are getting away from me. I'm just been trying so hard this year to have like a low to no buy year. Like I've bought socks for her, I've bought shorts for her, I've bought some shirts for her. We're getting rid of most of her long sleeve stuff because that doesn't fit. Because all of a sudden now she's 5'1", she's in 4th grade, she's 5'1", she's turning 10. And I'm 5'4", so she's wearing my shoes, she's wearing my tops. I'm just going ahead and buying all the tops from now on in women's sizes. And since she likes the feel of mine, we're going with that, and then she can just grow into them. I also don't believe in having these big closets full of stuff, because when you do that, you tend to have a lot of stuff in there that doesn't really fit you well or you don't love. She's got a few pieces that fit her 2 years ago that she just won't get rid of because she loved that dress. I know, and I'm not pushing her because she's a child. But if it doesn't fit you anymore and there's nothing we can really do with it, let somebody else love it. And let's then make space to be able to get something you do love now that fits you. So that's been kind of the ongoing theme. And so some of the presents she's getting this month are a couple new shirts, a baseball cap in a color she likes because she doesn't really like the color from the one she got a few years ago. Stuff like that. I don't know. She's a girl and she's coming into her hormones in that period of time where you just want attention, and it's through attention you feel seen. I have to spend long periods of time in the evenings and the weekends now with her, listening to her, so she's heard. I don't want her to grow up like so many women of my generation that were just dismissed, and we felt like, well, if we didn't fit the stereotypical mold of size and beautification, then screw it. You have no value. So I'm trying to show her that, like, even though it's not real standard in our environment, I can have short hair and be happy about it and be pretty and feel pretty. And that's more important than if some random guy thinks that a bob is a good look or a bad look. There's some people with some really strong opinions on that. I've heard it. I don't care, because it's my opinion that counts. So I did finish that bigger blanket, and I'm trying to decide who to give it to. I made this one, which is a 15 square personal size blanket. It's about 2 feet by 4 feet, not quite. So it's actually, for living in Arizona, it's kind of nice to fold up. And because it's Granny's Gray, you can just stick your fingers in it to kind of drape it out. And you can get the right kind of drape. So you can have like longer drape on your back by folding it less here. And then you get a little longer drape down your back. So that can be nice with air conditioning or whatever. I like these. A lot of people are like, huh. And unless you're creative enough to realize this is a good size, whatever, I don't care. You know, I've come to the realization that I love doing what I love, and if that love doesn't come through when I gift it to somebody, maybe it'll come through when they gift it to the next person or somebody at the thrift store. And this is quite a nice, I am covered from here down to my ankles, and it's just quite nice. I like it. I'm finding it really fun to do the squares with 2 rounds of contrasting color. It feels very quilty. Those were only 5 cluster squares. These are 6 cluster squares. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 24 squares of 6 clusters, 4 by 6. And this is my entire wingspan, whatever that is for a 5'4" person. Isn't your wingspan about your height? And then it definitely is my height. It's probably taller than me. It's taller than me. So it's not quite my wingspan. So this is probably 5 by 6. So definitely more coverage personally, because you've got more draping over the sides and bunching up. But you could definitely go across the couch for a couple of people. Here's the deal, people. I don't care anymore. I don't care. I'm making stuff. People like it. They don't like it. Whatever. And I've come to realize I don't think the person I was intending this for originally would actually appreciate the colors. So there's another lady at school that works in the district office. And people in the district office I don't think they ever get appreciation stuff, like on Teacher Appreciation Week and whatever. I may have seen an end that I didn't see before. I'm trying to look. So I'm thinking about giving it to her. I don't know if it's exactly her colors or not, but I think she would actually appreciate it. She's a lovely, lovely woman. And these both need to be washed, so I will wash them, fluff them up, and go from there. Then I might gift them both. I haven't decided. Remember the squares I was putting together for the baby blanket? See, I feel like there's a little bit of whatever. Let's see if I can do this. There you go. So it's going to be 3 by 5, and it's going to be, those are 6 cluster squares, and I'm going to do the 2 rows again in white. And I think that's kind of slightly modern and will be lovely. So I'm gonna do that. I really didn't get much further than that. I was hoping to get the ends all woven in on those and a start, but I didn't, so oh well. I had a lot of questions about my menopausal journey and exercise and stuff that I talk about. and request to mention that, especially the weighted vest. I haven't received it yet. I got only a 6-pound vest. You're supposed to go with about 5% of your body weight to start with, no more than 10% of your body weight. I'm 5'4", I weigh 150 pounds. I wear a size 10 pants and a medium top. I am starting with 6 pounds because of my neck and shoulder problems that I've had ongoing. I could easily start with 8 pounds by the guidelines, but I wanted to err on the side of caution. Also, because I am a daily walker and I'm also interested in upping my walking, which is difficult as we get into the heat of the year. It's difficult in the winter for darkness. It's difficult in the summer for heat of the year. I have to worry as a legally blind person about safety, not going out in dusk and dawn kind of scenarios because of the animal movements, because we have coyotes and javelina, cows with big horns, stuff. So I'm just taking it one step at a time. I had a rough patch with my son this week. Oofda. He just got really down on himself. And I had to remind him, we're not perfect. You're going to be fighting your battles your entire life. And remember that most people don't know what they are. They're inside of us. Just make little steps every day to love yourself and move forward. That's truly all we got. And don't kick yourself on the days that you can't. Just don't. And be adaptable. If there's one thing that my menopause journey has taught me, it's be adaptable. 3, 4. So I had hot flashes and night sweats for about 14 years. My late 30s to my early 50s. And if my menopause journey hasn't taught me anything, it has taught me how to be flexible and how to change. Remember when I got into this? It really didn't work very well for my face as a face cream. I still use it on my neck at times. It works great on my hands and my feet. I use it on my arms and back here. I'm getting very flabby from lack of muscle tone. And I mean, this is crazy. Thank God for those tattoos that hide it. So I still use it, but I don't use it the way that I did because my son has been in, the acne season of his life, as many boys are. I found this stuff, and I find that this works really well on the small wrinkles on my face. At least I think it does. I'm legally blind. My husband doesn't tell me I'm pretty or that I have nice hair or anything. Nobody really comments on my appearance. So I think it works. I do it 2-3 times a week before I do my daily moisturizer with SPF. The thing that I hate more than the thinning lip line is that your odor changes in menopause and perimenopause. You don't smell the same. So Lumi, I love it, and I love this one, which is the whole body deodorant plus sweat control, and it comes in just this lavender sage. It took me a minute to get used to the lavender sage scent, but you really only smell it when you put it on and for a little bit of time, and then it goes. I use their deodorant whole body cream in unscented on my feet, especially in the summer if I can't be wearing wool socks, because the majority of the year I wear wool socks. I am very hard on wool. I try to wear woollier wools, but ones that are a little bit superwash for comfort. And that doesn't help with longevity because of the sand where I live that gets into everything. I go through wool socks a lot. That is the reason I started knitting. Stinky feet. Let that sink in. And so this has helped a lot. It absolutely works. It has helped a lot for me dealing with that issue. The rest of it is I walk every day. I walk at least a mile before I go to school in the morning or get my day going. I'm going to start doing the weighted vest. I will slowly work it in, but I will do it hopefully every day at a lighter weight versus having a heavier weight that could maybe damage and give me more issues with back and stuff. I am doing that because I am legally blind and I do fall. Even at this young age, I fall. I had falls in my 30s that were pretty traumatic. And now I'm worried about breaks. I'm worried about bone density. Muscle mass loss coincides pretty equally with bone density loss. So now that I'm starting to see stronger signs of my muscle loss, I'm feeling more motivated to deal with it. I do mobility exercises. We're going to do an adjustment here and see if we can not lose the phone. And, you know, I try to make my playlists on YouTube public, and I have a lot of them in things that I am interested in and watch over. I do this 2 to 3 times a week until it hurts because I have hip damage here. As if I'm stepping over a big Amazon box. And I usually do a long row, 3 or 4 or 5 down on one side, and then I go back the other side as if I'm going over big Amazon box and I don't want to touch it. And I do it in the beginning, 8 to 10 times of repetition on each side. Now I'm maybe double to that, maybe up to 20. But once you start to feel soreness, stop. You're over 50. You don't recover like you used to. And don't go do it the next day or the day after. Wait 3 or 4 days before you do it again. Space things out. Because we're not recovering the way we used to. And that is huge. The thing that I have had the most success with in feeling like this is really helping me is squats. Now that's not a great squat. That's just kind of an equal flat squat. I try to move my legs quite far apart, turn my toes out, and get it kind of so I can have my elbows between my knees, and I'm trying to tip my pelvis down so I can get in that solid squat low on the ground. And the closer and the better I have been at getting to that, the more solid and stable I have felt. I have a 10-pound kettlebell and I can't go swinging it around because of my neck and shoulder issues. But I find just a little bit of work with it and trying to be very controlled in your actions. Unlike youth, we need to be super controlled. But I use it also with the squats because that little bit of extra weight can really make a difference for working your balance. And I pull my butt down and get back up. That's huge. I have not yet gotten to a point where I can do much of anything with this 20-pound bar because it's stinking 20 pounds. And 5 years ago, this would have been no problem. Not an issue. No problem. I can do a couple of curls. Part of this is, once again, balance. And I can hold it. And isometric exercises aren't bad either. If that's all you can do to begin with, is hold something for 30 seconds, and then release, and then do it again, that's not the end of the world. It's something. And I'm very slow at increasing things because I'm very conscious about injury. Because I don't want to have to deal with my own recovery. And, and that's all I got. So I'm not making leaps and bounds of improvement all that fast. I wish I was, but I'm not. I still use my grounding sheets at bed every night. As you saw when we looked at the baby blanket, I still have my rebounder. This doesn't feel good to me. I feel very, tippy. So I don't use that as much as I do the vibrating plate. I will stand on that. Honestly, my goal is 5 minutes twice a week. Some weeks that hasn't happened. I use the rebounder more on times when my neck has gotten kinked, my shoulders gotten kinked, because I find it loosens me up more and I can get a good shift out of things and feel better. And that's my journey. And that's where I'm at. And the biggest struggle in all of that is to feel good about what I'm doing and not kick myself when it's not perfect. I know that getting involved in the school over the course of this last 2 school years has made more of a benefit for me long term, because they say the better your social interactions are, the better you are for long term. Life expectancy, health, quality of health. I think the hardest thing coming to terms with age, and I can say this from dealing with my parents and other elderly people, and I'm now feeling it, is that I just don't always feel the way I want to feel, and even the things that I do don't have a big enough impact because we can't completely erase age. The fact that maybe we were really hard on our bodies earlier on, and that's not going to be wiped away by anything we do in these last few decades. You might notice the windedness. I'm very congested because of allergy season, so it's harder to do stuff. I say we just gotta... Acceptance is a hard thing because it's acceptance. It's not giving up. I'm not giving up. I still would love to go on a cruise, go on a hike of Machu Picchu, do all kinds of stuff. But I'm also older and realize I don't have the money for the cruise. I don't have the health for Machu Picchu, or, that would be... Well, but what are the things towards those ends that I could enjoy? A lecture on Machu Picchu and somewhere out to eat. And make it a light meal, high in protein. And fats, good fats, and fiber. Hydrate every day as if I am hiking Machu Picchu. Continuing my skincare regimen, getting the hairstyle that looks just adorable with hats so that I wear more hats in the summertime and protect my skin, because my really good skin cancer surgery from a few years ago, now that I'm losing my collagen and other things, you can kind of see it more. And there might be more surgeries. Like, we just have to do the best we can and try to surround ourselves with people that encourage us and make us feel loved and accepted. And I think that's very hard in these days and ages of everything online and everything in a disconnected fashion. I watch the kids, even from my son who's graduating, from when he was in fourth grade and how they interacted versus now how my daughter has interacted throughout fourth grade, it is really different. They're not as engaged in those down moments of school with each other. They're very distant. They're more willing to sit there with some kid across the room and be texting them via their Chromebook apps and laughing about that stuff and feeling connected in that way when they're in a room together and they could sit next to each other and have a call, verbal talk. We just got an email that we're not allowed to phone call our IT department. They're a bunch of young guys now in their 20s, and they're like, that's not necessary. Just text engagement or email through the texting appy thing with the request for job. What? Sometimes you need to make a phone call to say, do I really have to put in a thing, or am I just dumb? Do I need to turn my computer off? Here's my response to that. Just turn your computer off and try that first before you even put in a ticket or make a phone call to someone. Just try it. If you're not real techie, just try it. If you have the time, just try it. Yeah, so that's been my week. It's been where we've been at. I appreciate all the comments. I appreciate the encouragement. We got to give each other more of that. Life is hard. Life is hard. Look with your heart first, not your eyes. Thank you for being here, and we'll talk to you again soon.